Welcome, welcome to Tools of Fortune. This is the June 30th episode. And so let's see, what we're doing here is we're going to be reading on this question: what is the id of America? And id is a Freudian term from Freudian psychology, where there is the superego, the ego, the id. And in this case, let me see there's something going on here, but I don't know what's quite going on. Okay, anyways, something's all messed up on my... Oh, I see. Okay, this is a really rough start. I'm trying to see make sure that my stream is clear. And so, okay, let's get on with it. I'm going to start in. I'm going to just tell you what the id is. The id is a psychology term. The id is part of the unconscious mind that drives desire. It drives desire and primal urges and needs. The id seeks pleasure. And so, what we're reading on is the energy right now of this question: what is the id of America? What is the id of America? But I'm going to start first I got this new little toy. Not toy, this is new. This is a Virgin of Guadalupe candle. And we're going to light an intention. Light this candle for an intention. Our intentions here is that we are seeking truth. We're seeking truth. We're seeking truth in this moment. I should have opened my window. Oh, shh. Well, I got to redo that. We're seeking truth in this moment. I hope the stream is clear. It is. Okay. Very good. I don't want to light the house on fire or anything. Okay, so this is a What's the Vibe Oracle. And I am reading on the question: what is the id of America, using the Real Life Tarot? All right, let's get going. Real Life Tarot. And we'll just shuffle this up. Let's give it a good little shuffle here before everybody disappears on Tools of Fortune. What is the id of America? What is the id of America? And it's guaranteed you may not have seen this tarot deck before. We're going to give it how many? I'm going to do 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 5 cards on what is the id of America. Okay, I want to make sure we don't burn anything down. I'm surrounded by a lot of paper around here. Okay. Let's just see how the story unfolds. Anxiety. Catfishing. The deleter. The multi-faced person. And conflict. So, how is this story arranged? What drives America is anxiety. Welcome. Gumball fan. What drives America is anxiety. Fishing. Catfishing. That cat fishing for something new, for something desirable, for something shiny, for that shiny object. America is anxious, fishing for some shiny object, and all the while deleting the evidence. Things are disappearing. Things are disappearing. And America is driven by conflict, and this multi-faced and the multiple faces. So what we have here in the story is a magical power is simply a tool. It is a technology. It is a technology is what a magical power is. Anyways, we have conflict. We have these multi-faces. To every person around there, a different face is showing. And what is the id of America? It is this picture right here. And let's try that again with this other oracle. This is the What's the Vibe oracle. All right. The What's the Vibe oracle. And what is the id of America? What is the id of America? Okay. The first card is today. Today, we got good vibes. America is all about today. The id of America is all about today. That party, that smoking it up, those good times. So America is all about good times. Good times. Good times are driving desire. The id seeks pleasure. America seeks pleasure. The id of America is pleasure. The id of America is masculine energy. America projects the energy of a strong man. Strong men give pleasure to America. America worships strong men. The father figure, the figure of authority. This father figure gives good vibes, is the party, makes the party, drives the party forward, and and there is a harmony there, a harmony in this thing, harmony. So we got party vibes. Welcome, 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 Ganesh, welcome. And so, what is the id of America? Let's do one more card. We did 5 cards on the other one. One more off the bottom. A soulmate. America seeks soulmates. Pleasure of mating. The pleasure of mating. So we have a mate between the fatherly figure. Look, it's this good vibes grandma and this masculine man. They are soulmates. They are in harmony. They are got the good vibes going on. One more. Running. And they're always running away from each other. Daniel, welcome. So in this oracle, we're looking at the id of America. The id of America. You know, while we're in here, let's look at one other id of America. Powerball. 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 I'm going to draw some numbers here that maybe you want to play in Powerball. I mean, there's no guarantee of a win. This is for entertainment purposes only. It is for entertainment purposes only. It is for entertainment purposes only. I want to make sure we are on camera. Oh, that's paint. Oh, look at that. How did the paint get on here? Entertainment purposes only. The entertainment purposes only. We're going to be asking everyone, I want you to think. I want to put your thinking caps on. I want you to think about numbers. What numbers I should draw. What numbers are those magic numbers? Because the next Powerball draw is tonight. Tonight is the next Powerball draw. It is 5 numbers, 1 through 69, and 1 Powerball number 1 through 25. And so, put your intentions out there, your wishes for the numbers I need to draw. Just put your likes out there, like this video, and give me that energy. So let me feel that energy. The energy in these cards. The first number is 41. Because America is about the Powerball. America is about gambling. It is also one of those desires of the country. The desire to win big. The desire for wealth. The desire for power. The desire for good time that a lottery win will bring. Let's draw 4 more numbers. 19, 17, 32, and the number 1. So I'm going to write these numbers down. I'm going to write these numbers down here. We put those numbers out and we put those intentions into the world. And it is the number, we're looking Powerball, PB, the number 1, the number 17, the number 13, number 19, the number 41, and the number 32. It's out of order. I got it. I understand. And we are going to select a Powerball from one of these little cards. It's got this little dot on there. Winning Powerball. Now, Powerball ball, please. Let's get that winning Powerball ball. The winning Powerball ball. And this is it. It's right up there to the edge. Number 25. Number 25, the winning Powerball ball. I'm going to write that down. But you know, numbers mean things. Numbers also mean things. And numbers have meanings. Numbers have values. And so maybe this is not going to win anybody the Powerball, but maybe there's a message in these numbers. A message in these numbers for you. And let's add up all these numbers here. We're going to add up all these numbers, and are going to get a overall value for this. So we're looking at 41 plus 19 plus 1 plus 17 plus 32 plus 25. And we're going to add up all these digits. And so we're looking at 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 8 plus 5 plus 7. This is a numerology. In numerology, you add the digits together and you reduce it down to a single digit between 1 and 9. And so that's what we're doing. We're reducing all of these numbers down to a value between 1 and 9. And so this comes down here. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and the number is 9. That's actually the number 9. So, the number 9. In a biblical sense. First off, I'm going to give you that definition here. The number 6, and there's 6 people lurking here. The 6 is a human number, and so in the book of Revelations, the number 6 stands for humanity. The number 9 stands for the perfected human. So it's the final state. The final state of humanity is 9. And so we're thinking of America. 9. We're looking at a shooting towards the final state of America. Number 9. Number 9 is about compassion. So the message of all these numbers is compassion, completion, compassion, completion, and it's the end of a stage. And so if we were to take a look at what these numbers mean, we're going to look at it in a different sense. So I'm going to just put this right over here, number 9. I'm going to draw out some different cards. Some different cards right now. So we're thinking of the number 9 as compassion and completion. It's the end state, but we're going to go into this little mini tarot deck. I got it at Rome and Elm. It is a Etsy store. This is a custom-made tarot deck. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to pick what these different cards are. I'm going to pick these energies of these different cards. 1, I'm going to start there. 1 is the Magician. We're going to just kind of look at this. We're going to just do upright cards only. And in the case of 9, this is the final number, 9, a completion of a cycle. Number 9, the world. I'm just going to put that over here. The overall value of all of these numbers added up together in tarot is the world. And do we have any that add up to 9? Okay. Any that add up to 7? Yes, right here. The meaning of the number 7 is this, the Hermit. And number 8 is strength. Let's find it. Now, this is not necessarily your grandma's way of, your grandma's method of tarot. So I got, like, in this sense, I have 2 number 1s. For this one, we're going to use the Magician. And see what the overall, these cards are not that easy to, they're kind of thicky, and just rifling through the cards. 5 is about change and challenge. We're going to put that over here. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune that way. And then so we have another 5. You have to choose which 5 is 5. All right. 5 has been represented here twice. Sorry, things are lagging here. Number 9. The Devil. Number 6. The Devil. 8. We have a numerological value of 8. And I think we're going to use that on the star right there. Things are not always matching here. They're not always matching. But this is, I'm matching them in the way that I think they should be. The way I feel them to be. Eight as strength. This is 17. We're going to keep that there. 5 as in poverty. A poverty of action. I must have run across it somewhere. These cards are not very wieldy. It's hard. I like pocket-sized cards. Sometimes I feel like this energy goes into here. Even though the numerology value of it is different, I feel like that energy should be there. If we look at, what are we looking at? 2 plus 3 is 5. No, we're going to do that. That's what I feel like it should be. So sometimes that's just the way it is. There's a sense of rebirth. A sense of temperance. Where's the Magician at? Looking at life from different viewpoints. Almost all major arcana cards here. Let's take a look here. So these are those numbers that I drew. There's only just one variation. I substituted what would be a sort of a beginning and an ending here. a beginning and ending here. So we have the start of a thing and we have the completion of a thing. But the overall completion of this thing is this. And this is the direction that these numbers that I drew here are going. They are going to the completion, to the end of the event. And that ending is the world. It is success. So maybe my lottery numbers will result in some kind of success. Unfortunately, I'm not buying a ticket. Maybe one of you guys will buy a ticket for that. Maybe you'll buy it with these numbers. Maybe you'll go buy a lottery ticket with the number 5, with the number 20, with the number 1, with the number 17, with the number 10, and the number 9. So I'm going to lay this out here on a different set of lottery numbers to try. And they are with a Powerball of 9. And we're looking at, let's put the numbers, let's order them. The number is 1, 1, 2. That's not right. It's 1, 25, 17, 10, and 9. So 1, 5, 20, 1, 25, 7, 10, and 9. And so I'm going to come back on a different day, and we're going to check these numbers to see if any of them came into play. Now, the last time I did this, I drew numbers, and I got the number 50 right, one number, and the number 12 right. So the last time I did this, I got on different drawings, I got 2 numbers right from drawing from my cards. But what I'm seeing here in this image here is if we were to look at these cards of poverty and a need for rebirth, poverty and need for rebirth, for the shedding of those things that stick you down in the ground, those things that lower yourself down. And so if I'm going in a linear sense from here to there to there, and where it ends up in the world, you're looking at a start of, we start with there's a poverty, a need for rebirth. But then from there, the journey begins. And you got all the tools. To make a new life for yourself. And then this energy from the stars comes down and energizes you, charges you up. Energized and charged up. And that wheel of fortune turns. It just kind of clicks over into a new state of being, in which at that time there is a need to contemplate what is going on. So it goes that from then you can understand how it is that you do just have everything. You already have everything. And I'm just reading on a general question. The question I was reading on is, what is the id of America? But I took a side tour. I took a detour, and I'm reading on some numbers. I'm reading on a set of numbers and reading on the value of a set of numbers that culminate in this. These numbers all culminate in this sense of success and of accomplishment and of making something and feeling like you're on top of the world because you've done it. You've done it. You've gone through all the steps and you've done it. And so in this sense, the steps in the order that these steps are is it starts here. It starts here with your own sense of poverty, your own sense that of being unfulfilled in your life. And then you need to shed that thing which makes you poor. Those attitudes of thinking you know it all, thinking that you are the thing. Shed those attitudes that are unwelcoming to others. Shed those attitudes that make people not like you. Shed those attitudes. And then you pop up out of the grave and become someone new. And then from here, you're starting all over again. You're starting your journey anew from as like a fresh human being. Because you are the magician and you are a master of your life, charged up with energy from the stars, and then you roll the dice and you spin it one click into that new life. But you got to take some time away to think about it all, to contemplate how it all fits together before you can find your place in the world. It relates in a sense of, the major arcana relates in a sense of that there are different stages of how your different archetypes of how you, your different stages of development, and that's kind of how they relate. At least that's how I see it. So, like, for instance, magician, the beginning of a journey, and the world, the end of the journey. And I'm kind of like how Stoic 9, you're a life path 9. Yeah, I'm a life path 4, but it's been a while since I've looked at the life path. So I mean, but you know what you're at. So I'm kind of down in there, like Waite, who has a Waite like as where Arthur Waite, a Catholic and Christian mystic, and who saw the tarot as a means to contemplate your life, and especially with the major arcana, and so you don't necessarily you didn't necessarily believe that you would be using it. A person should be using it to like try to fortune tell and stuff like that. But yeah, the self, the magician, yeah. Welcome, the real. And so we are born as the fool. And so in that journey, because you would look at, you are the fool. You are that zero card, the fool through the whole process. The fool through the whole process. And you kind of go through those different stages to see kind of where you're at. And then the minor arcana is kind of like where you are in the moment, where you are in any given moment, you know. And so for the most part, I drew these cards, but I'm kind of reading myself. But you know, all these cards, they kind of relate to you anyway if you want to look at it in any given state, because they come from us. And that message resonates. Okay, good. And that's because it's that because the tarot, you know, and it's like it's really, I mean, what is it, like really recent in our, it came into human consciousness in like the 1490s, but it was just a game. In the 1490s, it was a game that people played, like poker or maybe like magic. I kind of fancy it because that Solabuska tarot deck, which the images on it are all about the rise and the fall of the Roman Empire. So you're playing a game, and then maybe, and I suppose that, you know, they would probably have some fantasy and some stuff like that. Yeah. Or trial and tribulations are in the cards. Yeah. So when that's kind of how I that's how I see the tarot. And but then if you really want to get like really I wrote these card numbers down. I did. If you want to get like down into more nuances, if you want to get down into some more nuances, you can use, like I use this What's the Vibe Oracle deck. It's really nuanced, and so much more so than how tarot, in my opinion, how tarot is. I like the tarot. I like, but yeah, in the construction of tarot. And so yeah. So what I do sometimes, is I'm not doing random. I'm not doing random draws on cards, but maybe what I will do is, and I'll just do that here because what am I in here? 38 minutes in, and maybe it's time to. I'm pretty well charged up here, so as long as I don't wake the people in the house, I'm fine. I have some cards that I've made, and I'm going to put these away before they get away from me. And so one of the ways, which I'll kind of show you here, and I might use it, I'll probably use a different deck, because this one is, I'm finding it to be unwieldy. I don't like rifling through the cards where it's taking me that long to rifle through the cards. And so I'll put it away, and I'm going to pull out another deck. And so one of the ways, anyways, is that I do this is I'll roll dice. Yes, you may ask. What would you like to ask? And so other ways that I do things is I will go and get an energy out of my Catholic missal, a St. Joe missal. I'll get an energy out of this, from a page number. And so, like, for instance, earlier today, I drew it. So you have to be a master before reading someone else's. Well, I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think that I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it all depends on how you have been, how you've been gifted. Because, there are, with the gifts of the Spirit. Now, I'm running out, coming straight up out of. Yeah, I know you don't wish to give bad readings. You're right. That's true. And that's true. And so there's that in being a master in, let's say, tarot, but that's probably why there's a lot of people just plain who give readings on people who aren't masters yet. And there was I'll give you an example of a person. He's been reading for many, many years. I ran across him. Um, his channel name is T and Tarot, but he's an old man now, but he's been reading forever. And I think that he had talked about his stories that when he first started reading, that he didn't know what he was doing. That's in your opinion, yeah. And so I had, but it's like, when are you a master? That's the question. Is when are you a master? If it was like up to me, sir, Stoic, I would, because of how I am, I would never feel like I had achieved any level of mastery with it. And in my life, that's the way I have been. And so what I have done in my life is I just started doing things. I do not I do not really do crystals. I, yeah, yeah, yes, it speaks of our gifts. And so if you look at, there's the gift of discerning spirits, and there's the gift of prophecy and prophets. And I think that's where divination comes into play. Because if you look at, like, in the Bible, there was lots of uh, the Bible is against divination methods that don't lie within the Bible. So what you had in the Bible is you had, like, casting lots. That was one form. But one of the things that astrology is also another thing. Oh, okay. I was gonna go do that. I was gonna show you how I use a device. I use this method for myself a lot, or as a demonstration. And so here is, I have another set of dice too. This set here, and we're gonna do this. Let's start by I'm gonna start by clearing just sort of a note to clear things out. Okay, and then a little prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all along our journey, and help us so that we may speak the truth in all moments. We're going to start with the dice. And we're going to get a single digit number. So we're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, the number 2. The number 2. And we're looking at the number 2. In a sense, the number 2 is like about balance or duality. the energy of number 2, and 11 is a master number. That is right. And we'll put that number 11 down as well. Okay. But I'm going to do, yes, okay, 11 as a master number. All right. In a way, you go from numerology right into tarot. And you think about what are all the energy states that the number 2 means to you. And so what is the number, other than these 2 numbers that I wrote down here, Stoic, what does number 2 mean to you? What does number 11 mean to you? Write that in the comments, please. And I'm going to start in with a little bit of what I just want to know, just a word, and then I can, so teachers, master numbers are teachers. Okay, let's go into the tarot, and we're going to talk about teachers. So we're talking about duality, and we're talking about instruction. Being even keeled, but balanced, masculine and feminine. Okay. And so we're just going to go diving into the tarot here. I need to create a little bit more space here. Okay, I'm not going to be using these cards again tonight. I'm just going to come through here. Me wants to put this one out there. Would be looking at instruction. We're looking at that Hierophant. I oftentimes, when I see number 2, I really think of like the 2 of Swords. And making a choice. And another card I'm thinking of is the Justice card. The Justice card. And so we're going to run, and it doesn't necessarily boil down to that, but there's another deck of cards that I use when I do these things. You know, 2, and there comes that number there again, because that number reduces down to 2 as well. The Justice card is 20. That's the Judgment card. I must have blown right past it. Or is it in the box still? And let's go. But we're looking at kind of like a teacher, an instructor. Maybe we need that Hermit in here. Because now the Hermit is not necessarily in a teaching mode, but it is in a sense of one who is seeking enlightenment. It depends on the deck you're looking at. If you're looking at Strength and Justice are reversed in the Tarot de Marseille, but I'm looking at the energy of the card, not necessarily the number value on the card. I haven't really seen anyone use this method before, but I got the idea somewhere. And not doing random card draws. These are, they are, you know, this one here has a little bit of this balancing going on. That has that energy to it. I must have just blown by it again, and I just didn't see it. 9 as completion. Yes, it is. If we're looking at 9 and 9 and then 9 and that, yeah, this is the, I'm still looking for that card. I'm hoping that I haven't. There it is. I just blew by it several times. So we're looking at, I'm going to arrange these things down here, how I kind of think they are. We're making a choice, and we need a feminine energy here, and so I'm gonna get the High Priestess out as well. There, and that's literally the 2 card. So we're looking at, and this is number 11, so we have number 11, okay? And we do an arrangement here. I should be using a smaller deck of cards. So anyways, I probably should be using a mini deck here. Why don't we just use a mini deck? I have to go through and find all these cards all over again. And can you see these okay? We have this card. Let's see if we can go through, find them fast. And we'll just number it that one. We have that one. Just so I can arrange them up here a little bit better. Justice. And numbered cards that boil down to 2. Balance. High Priestess. We have this one, Judgment. And you know what? This is also a number 2. The 2 of Cups, about love. And no, about love. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that, with the balance and harmony, love. You've probably seen me just go right by the cards, because you can never find anything when you really are looking for it. But I also had drew the Hermit out because I thought that the Hermit really belonged here, but it also was the card I drew before I started this thing. And you're also kind of looking at a little bit of the Lovers. There's two figures there, but that's not the number. And the 2 of Swords, choices, decisions. And maybe this one, juggling, the juggling, 2 of Swords. So we're just kind of constructing about just some energy and energy levels, energy things. We'll look at that, and then we'll just throw out all the ones that don't make sense to the feeling that we have, right now. And I think I took the... Okay. Was there anything else? I was thinking of like the Hierophant. I don't know, this Temperance card just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up for me. And we want to have a balancing between two different states. Okay, we'll just do it that way. Yeah. All right, so what we have is I'm going to run the root of this thing clear down here with this little 2 here. I probably should just raise this thing up a bit. Raise it up, maybe. And I'm not so sure about this one. I do think this one is in order. And maybe not this one. But we're looking at a balance and a duality. And this card, to me, kind of talks about that. But we also are going to be doing a duality between this state and though this is female, it's a balancing of justice. But I think the justice kind of goes a little bit more down the road here. And this... And that may not make sense. But you're forever juggling. Hi. That girl show. You want to see me shuffle? I will shuffle when I finish this. I was doing this for Stoic, and I'll do some shuffling here. Yeah, 2 of pencils. So what we have, what I'm seeing here with this number 2, number 11, is a sense of a flow. We're making a choice. And on one path, you're coming in with this one path, and you're tapping into that the divine feminine. You're tapping into the divine feminine energy. You're finding partnership and love. And then you have your thing, then it kind of culminates into a juggling of states of being, a juggling of... Yeah. And people have... Yeah, this is a small deck, all right. They're not. I don't shuffle them. I don't shuffle them at all, and so I'm using them because they work on camera. And then, so one path of this, and we're looking at this thing of the number 2, or the number 11. 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, and so and so we're looking at one path. One path, but both of these paths culminate in the same state, where you still have to juggle your different realities and your different energies that you have in your life. And so in this sense, we are kind of tapping into intuition, and you're following your intuition, you're following and you're working in partnership with others, but yet you still have to juggle between one state and another. And then in this other path, maybe it's more like this: justice, a balancing, a culmination of things in your life, a evaluation of your things in your life. And in evaluating those things in your life, you come to a place of rebirth. Maybe it culminates in here, but you have a rebirth. And that's kind of how I see that. Does that make any sense? I mean, this just an example, and I just kind of pulled this here, but maybe because when I first started this thing, and this is not a number 2, this is a number 7 energy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I add that one down here. That is the number 7. And so here, this is where I got the idea to do this kind of readings. And where I got the idea to do it this way was when I haven't really started doing it because I have a lot of irons in the fire, so I haven't really got there yet. But if you're reading tarot from an ordinary pack of playing cards, so if you're reading tarot, and I'm not going to take it out of the package, but if you're reading tarot from a... Hi, welcome. And so if you're reading tarot from an ordinary pack of playing cards, you are doing... You can set it up so that you are doing a minor arcana tarot reading. So you're taking your tarot deck and you're pulling out all of the major arcana cards. And then maybe you're pulling out all of the pages as well. Okay? And you are doing and so you're looking at it, and so you can just take the 52 cards and just throw out the jokers, and you have the 52 cards. And the 52 cards represent the minor arcana cards less the pages. But you can throw them in there. Okay, they're in there. But where you're doing it is that you're dealing through the cards, and so then you get the numbers on there, and then you take those numbers, and maybe those numbers feel like, you get a 12, and you think you take that number in there, and that feels like a major arcana card. Or let's say it's 8, and you think this is card number 8, so it's strength. It's strength. But it just depends, because you may decide. You may, at the outset of doing this, you have to decide if you're following... Hello. You have to decide if you are following the Tarot de Marseille method or the Rider-Waite method. If you're doing the Tarot de Marseille method, then you switch the strength and the justice card around. Strength and justice are switched around in the Tarot de Marseille. So if you're reading tarot from playing cards, that's the first thing you do, is you got to decide what method you're going to use. And that's probably the method you should use, is the Tarot de Marseille, and then stick to it. And then, you can go set your deck up. You can go through it, and every card, and you write down a value for what it is. What's the Ace of Spades? I think spades are swords, and diamonds are pentacles, and clubs are wands. And then you get those card values, and with the question and what you feel in that moment, you can decide if a major arcana card comes into play. So does that make any sense? I have studied. I just don't have the cards memorized. I have a lot of decks, but I use keyword decks because I haven't memorized all the cards. And so the keywords are kind of a crutch. But here's the things, so you comprehend. So here's the thing is, I'm going to tell you something, what can really jumpstart your ability to read. I'm going to put these over here. I don't want to lose them. Is to read. This here is a joke tarot deck. It was the real life tarot, and there's no manual. No manual comes with this. And when you pull these cards out, it's whatever you think they are, and whatever they think they are in combination. So go. Yeah, the hero's journey. I of and Joseph Campbell, and I studied religion in college a long time ago. And I was raised, baptized, and confirmed into the Lutheran Church, and then later in my 20s, after taking a trip to Israel, I became a Catholic, and I don't know what I am anymore, but I do see myself as a esoteric. I don't know if I could call myself a Christian mystic, but if I go down all throughout all the lists of what it means to be a Christian, I just don't follow. I don't measure up anymore, if that makes any sense. But I did academic study of religion in college, but I'll show you this real life tarot deck, and then I gotta close things out, and because it's probably like 2:00. It's 2:00 in the morning for me, and I take care of take care of my mother, who's in her mid 80s, and a little dog. But anyways, let's go put these cards away, and then I'll show you the real life tarot, because there's a method of reading tarot cards. Yeah. So so what, there's a method of tarot, and I can't remember the guy's name. He did and I had my laptop on just to make sure the stream was clear. Generally, when I use this tarot deck, I just pull the cards right out of the box. I hardly ever take them out of the box. The box is getting a little tattered up, but the guy who did the CBD tarot deck wrote a book called Open Tarot Reading. Okay, you took care of your mom as well. Yeah, I've been doing that for a few years. She has some issues now, but nevertheless, so what we got here is the open method of reading. And the open method of reading, in that is in the open method of reading, you are looking at the picture on the card. I'm fine. Thank you, Rebecca. Welcome. So you were looking at the pictures on the cards. And from the picture, I bought this deck used, and I have buying used tarot decks is a gamble. And the first time I bought a used tarot deck, it didn't have a manual with it. So, but anyways, what you're doing with the open tarot, the open method of interpretation, is that you're just looking at the picture, and you are completing the story by, you're looking at the picture. You're looking at the picture, and so you don't necessarily. And so some tarot decks, like this is the Tarot of the Abyss, the pictures are pretty. I think they're explicit. You can just look at the picture and sort of figure thing. Oh, look, it's 11:11 right now. There's 11 likes and 11 people looking in. Wonderful. And anyways, and so this is I have another channel where I do mostly art. And so anyways, this tarot deck, it's not a tarot deck. They call it a tarot deck, but this is the and it was created by a guy who is a magician. Welcome, Dookie. And a magician is created by a magician. And so the way I look at that, I'm going to just tell you the story about how I think of this tarot deck. And this is, I've said that probably 3 times on this channel so far. And this is, I think, my 4th live stream since I got live stream privileges. So let's say you have a dinner party, and you invite all your friends, and you invite your neighbors, and you invite some family. And one of the persons there knows you are a tarot reader, but you don't want to come out to everyone else that you are. And so somebody says, "Oh, read us." Huh. That sounds like a yes/no question. Yeah. I don't know that I really want to access that energy about those people's. I don't want, because of who those people are, and so does that make any sense? But anyways, you pull this deck out, and you make a game of it, and your guess is as good as mine as to what the cards mean. However, some people look at this deck, and they think it kind of more like a Lemmerman deck. The world is, yeah, and that's, they want a reading. So Stoic. So what you do is if you don't feel like, like I live in a rural area, and I don't know anybody who reads tarot and or open to it. I wouldn't. There's only like one neighbor I have that is doesn't care, because they're pretty new age, but everyone else is kind of thinks of it kind of as like a witchy thing. And so you don't want to like make people uncomfortable, so instead you would just bring this out, and you make a game of it. So yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull a question. I have some canned questions where I'm not going to be reading anybody's energy who doesn't want to be read. I'm not going to be reading somebody who hasn't given me permission to read them. And so these are all questions. They're not, these are yes, no's, but we can make them more. Some of these are stupid. I don't really want to read these ones that are too stupid. Okay. Yeah. So you I'll give consent. Okay. For an energy reading for the real. All right. I will do a energy reading for you on this deck. And if it, or do you want an energy reading from me using the divination tools that I created? Mr. Pharaoh, yes. Yeah. Okay. All of the above. All right. How about? All right. I'm gonna give you an energy reading, and I'm gonna use my first point of entry is right here. Okay. An energy reading for Pharaoh. Okay. All right, Pharaoh. Let's. Okay. Okay. This is my crossword oracle, and I'm going to have a sense of new beginnings and a start of something new, and that you are love. You are love. That was the first message that came. You are love. And you are at the beginning of something new. This card popped out, number 35. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8. We are looking at 8. The number 8. For a manifestation or abundance. And then I'm also thinking in terms of strength. So magician, strength. And then we are looking at some words here. The word that popped out is drifting. Drifting. And hand, where a hand can manipulate things. Drifting, but in the sense of being, you're drifting in a river. And that is that river of life, and just sort of letting that water wash over you. And this is that spiritual energy, water washing over you. And as you flow down the river, you are learning to be strong. You are learning to be a master of the tools that you have. And you can pull that strength from above and pull that into your heart, and use the tools that you have in front of you to create. And you're creating from the beginning, but also from that you are building something that is concrete, manifesting that concreteness, drifting in this river of life. Now, right now, in this moment. We have the number 3. The number 3 and the number 5. The number 3 is self-expression. The number 3 of self-expression, and the number 5, challenge. And so what I'm getting here in this sense of trying to put this all together for you. So you're looking at the numbers of 1, 8, 3, 5. And or 1, so in a sense, so the wholeness of that is you have how you express yourself in your life and how you express yourself in the moment. But then you like this to be challenged. I hope I was able to put this all together for you in this moment of these kinds of energies, just the energies of this moment. But I was thinking of, you have the magician, and you have maybe another big strong energy of the emperor, the strength card, 5, and being 8. But in this sense, I interpret the 5 as like the Wheel of Fortune. Manifestation. So you're listening. I hope that made sense. Because sometimes it's difficult to put it all together. I probably shouldn't admit that, but there's just a lot of, I'm trying to put it into just like a one-word thing. I don't know that I can do that for you, but I think you can put that together for yourself. And so now I want to go over and look at, let's see what the Real Life Tarot has to say. So it does resonate. But in the main sense that you have to remember that you are love. You are love. And you are loved, and you are love. And because you are love, you can use that energy to create, to make new things in the world, to create new, to build things that you're looking to build. And then, and from that, there is strength, there's self-expression, and the ability to express yourself, and there is I don't really understand. You're a Leo too, and I don't quite understand. I don't really know astrology, so let's just we'll put it at that. And but you know astrology, and you know how that makes sense for you. But one of the things that I don't want to get distracted. I'm gonna just draw. Let me just see what. It's like a bomb went off. I wonder how. So you entered the world. You entered the world like a bomb went off. What else does it say? This might turn into more of a comedy thing because that's the whole nature of this deck is more comedy. And you had a TV dinner. Down at the bar, having a drink. Flushing your garbage down the sink. So, to finish this off, fire energy, impulsive, are you Aries too? You're an Aries? I'm an Aries. So you came into the world like a bomb went off. You're social. You're a night owl. You're up all night and being social with everyone there. You don't hang on to your garbage very long. You stick it down the drain and grind it up. I'm picking up on your energy too. So, I don't know. And then you put it on down the drain. But you live a simple life and you're fine with a frozen TV dinner. And that can be just like a gourmet thing for you. A gourmet thing. Let's try one more and see what one more gives us. Let's do one off the bottom. And you are unique in this world. Unique in this world. There's only one of you. And you don't care what other people think of you because you're the LARPer. How's that? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Well, we'll thank the spirit for that. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna come back tomorrow night, probably after midnight. Yeah. But I want to close out with my Mother Mary Oracle. And so you subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to just read one of these cards for all of you guys. And so we'll just kind of throw that out there. And we'll just look at the pictures here. And I'm just going to shuffle it up. You're welcome. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all along this journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Pray for us now. Pray for us, Mary. Pray for us. So what we have here is these two images. One of the things about this deck is that often the there is like a seed child and the parent, but it's a reflection of the elder. There is a sense of this innocent young self and then an older self, and they are in harmony together. It's that duality, that two-ness, and we are here with the number two, because the number two is one of those that have numbers that have popped up in this reading often. We had the number, and I rolled those dice, and we got the number 11, the number 2, and 1 or the angel number 11. And before I popped on here one of the devices, and the clock was not to a real time, but it was just on an arbitrary time. It was 11. And so that is the number that is, that is expressing itself right now for all of us here, is that number 11. And I kind of see that number 11 as this, like you're at the start of something new, or it's the reflection of the number 11 twice reflected over. And or that number, you have that number 1 that is put in there in 4 different times. The magnification of the number 1, the magnification of the number 1, the magnification of the number 1. 11. Yes, 11, and that is the number we're looking at. The 4 of Wands, or that stability, the stability in the moment, or it's the creation, the new creation magnified 4 times. And we look in here, 11. There is the big one, and then the creation, the big one and the creation, and then there are these spirits that give wisdom, that give knowledge. Yeah. Ordeals. And so you have this calmness, and you have this nurturing, and being welcoming, and being welcome to others around you, because you are love. You are love. And because you are love, you can create something new. Let's see what this says. Our Lady of the Rose Child. Our Lady protects you from unnecessary struggle, yet there are some challenges that are essential for your soul to grow. These challenges will not be withheld from you because you are entitled to become your full self. You are currently outgrowing that which is too small for your soul. There may be suffering, but out of this will come deep healing, self-love, gratitude. Your freedom shall come swiftly because you matter. It is important because you matter in this moment. It is important to be grateful. There is light shining all around us. Mary is here. Mary is here. And this one, there are times when growth must happen so that you can continue your journey home. For you, beloved, this is such a time. Remember, you are not only being guided away from what has been, but also towards a new manifestation. Blessed by Our Lady, this is a secret gift, soon to be recognized, and it is instrumental in manifesting your complete spiritual fulfillment because you are love. And we are talking about this number of that 1111, that 111, the angel number 111. I need to think about that and reflect on that number 1111. Yes. And then, so we have that. And I'm going to go page 376. So before I start these, I kind of go and get a message, and I go into my missal, and I think I've pulled up page 376. I pulled another page up, and I completely changed out my thumbnail because I felt like I needed to do that. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that. 376. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, 376. I'll just read from this page here. Yeah, I can pull out. I can do that, 374. 374. I'll read 374 for you. Let us sing to the Lord. He has covered himself in glory. You brought in the people you redeemed and planted them on the mountain of your inheritance, the place where you made your seat, O Lord, the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. 355, it's your angel numbers. And so the prayer is, even today we see wonders of the miracles you have worked long ago. You once saved a single nation from slavery, and you gave us freedom. You gave us unity. You gave us a path to unity. You gave us a path that we may become who we were created to be, that path to salvation. And in this sense, I'm giving a mystic interpretation of that word salvation, where when we think of source consciousness, and we're not thinking of all the little tribal gods. We're not thinking of all the little tribal gods and all the little systems all over the world. We're not thinking of those things. Those are just expressions of something else. We're not thinking of all of the little systems, not of Christianity or Judaism or Islam or Hinduism or your other pagan religions, or we're not thinking about all of those little religions and things that we have created on this earth. We're not thinking of those places. We're thinking of that other realm that exists beyond the template, the place that all things stem forth. And then from here, when where we are at here, we turn them into those other little things. We express them as Christianity, or we express them as Judaism, or we express them as a nature religion, or we express them as these other things. These things are all expressions of this other reality. And you have showed us that we can connect to a greater reality, and we can connect to this greater reality and have a relationship with it while we are here. And that, in a sense, is what I am saying. I'm what salvation is. Okay? All right. 355. I'll go to page 355 and see what it says. This is page 355. On this one, we were looking at church here ABC in the beginning of the Easter Vigil. Praise for the blue, yeah. Oh, the world. Yes. Of lights. Solemn beginning of the vigil for the service of lights on 355. 355 in this sense. We were talking about light, the lighting of candles, light, adding light into the world. Because all the lights in the church are okay. So we got all, okay, that's the instructions. And so in here, we are looking at, on this most holy night, the Lord Jesus. And in this sense, what we're looking at here is what your higher consciousness self, the Christ consciousness, is a created being. And though the Christ consciousness may be different and unique from you, but that experience is to be your experience too. So it's that realization is that your experience, this is your experience too. And so if you look at and I'm going to butcher this because I'm just doing a retelling of this story as I heard it in The Power of Myth, the Bill Moyer series with Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell gives the Hindu creation story, and I know this is just a retelling of a telling. And I'm paraphrasing here, where the Brahma creates the world and all the things in the world. And then the Brahma wakes up one day and realizes that the Brahma is the tree, the Brahma is the rock, the Brahma is the wind, the Brahma is the river, and the Brahma is this person that was created. And so, in a sense, that there is, that's that sense. Oh, so you can read it and say it. Okay. Okay. You wait. Okay. And so anyway, and it's the realization that this God or whatever you call that, creates the universe, and then the universe realizes that, wakes up and realizes that it is God too, and all the different elements. And so, in one sense, you can look at it this way. And we will read it here, 355. When our Lord Jesus Christ passed from life to death, the church invites her children throughout the world to come together in the vigil of light and prayer. This is the Passover of the Lord if we honor. Okay, and that's what's there. Listening to the church and various inflections. Yeah. Okay. And now that was 355. Now that wasn't exactly what your question was, because you were looking at angel number 355, and I do not know off the top of my head what angel number 355 means, and since I'm doing this on my telephone, I can't exactly multitask this. But I wanted to look at what was 376. Does anybody else want me to pull a chain? All right, pray now. I'm using Jesus as a metaphor. I'm using Jesus as a metaphor for you, for the created order. But I'm not really going into ancient alien stuff here, if that's okay. But I do. I don't know. I mean, maybe we were created by aliens. I don't know. But that's not necessarily what I was thinking of. I was thinking more of a deeper sense. Anyways. 376. 376. And then I've been on here almost 2 hours, and then it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. $376. There's page 376. Yes, Kyle. Thank you. Have a blessed day, Mr. Farrow. It's like, what, 3 o'clock in the morning here? In justice you shall be established, far from the fear of oppression. In justice you shall be established, far from the fear of oppression, where destruction cannot come near you. Okay? Anyways, just remember that you matter, and be grateful. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. I want to thank everybody. And so what do we have? One more? Yeah, I heard about those. I saw that show on that. And so we have Mary with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 roses. Honesty is your truth. So, and this was the number, we have the number 11 repeated here again. Well, how many are here? 1, 2. There's a little bit more than that. So the number 11 is repeated here. Being in a state of reflection. Being a piece of art. You may be uncertain about your future. You do not have to become anxious about how to make things happen, nor do you need to know all the details of what shall be. You needn't be in control of the mystery to benefit from it. Surrender your concerns into Mother Mary's care and take a step, any step that feels right for you. Much love to you too, Stoic, for you are love. You are the magician, the master of your life right now, in this moment. And just remember the number 11, the number 2, the balance, the duality, the one, the new beginnings, the three, the creative expression, the number 5, the challenge, the number 8, the manifestation, the number 9, the completion. Much love to you, and thank you very much for your support. Thank you, Stoic. Thank you, Kyle Lang. Thank you, Rebecca Marie. And I wanted to thank everyone else. Thank you, Kyle, for being here, and thank you, Pharaoh. Thank you, Praise for Blue. Thank you, Paul Johnson. Thank you, Kyle Lang. And thank all the other people who came and hung out with me here tonight. And above all, thank you, Mary, for being with us and guiding us and helping us to see the truth in this moment. All right, I'm going to sign off. You're here and you cared for less and you care me more, but that love too, yes. It's because remember, you are love. You are love. And you are the magician that pulls from above to create down below. All right. Let's clear the air. Good night, friends. Good night. And we'll see you all another day. Bye-bye.